Welcome to our webinar, ShareFile for Accounting, Head into the Busy Season with Efficiency. You're joined here today with myself, Stacy Schrader, and leading our demo today, Evan Georges. As you all know, the modern challenges in the accounting industry today look a little bit different from what they did years back. First, evolving client expectations. So clients truly do expect more of their services. The digital-first world really has improved every service, and now they expect better convenience, ease of use, and speed. It's really important to consider this with your clients and to cater what kind of experience you're giving them. Next, the ever-prevalent talent shortage has been a huge drawback that we've seen in the accounting industry. With the shortage of accountants in the industry, this brings even more importance, ensuring your current staff is working as efficient as ever to ensure they have the bandwidth to service your clients appropriately. And that leads into our last challenge of inefficient processes. So although there is a ton of new technology that can solve manual processes, many firms still rely on outdated processes that put the work in your client's hand. Like sending a PDF via email and asking them to print it, sign it, and manually scan it and email it back to you. With these challenges in mind, ShareFile can help accounting firms start to reduce those challenges that really do impact your firm. So what kind of impact can ShareFile have on your firm? A few key areas to call out here. First being improved client touchpoints. So we know that client visibility and transparency are crucial to build a great client experience. And while ShareFile, you'll be able to have and make your touch points easier than ever. So key features that help achieve this include our custom branded client portal, our engagement spaces, and centralized comments to communicate back and forth with clients inside of their client portal. Another benefit would include enhancing your staff productivity. So with simplifying internal processes with ShareFile and consolidating the amount of context switching you're doing, your staff will be able to service clients faster and collaborate internally with colleagues easier as well. Features that help achieve this include workflow automation and simple file sharing and an easy-to-use interface. And then lastly, you're also going to be able to amplify workflow efficiency with ShareFile. Start to modernize your processes inside of ShareFile to reduce all of those repetitive and manual workflows you seem to do either daily or weekly that really do improve your overall client experience. These features that help achieve this in ShareFile are rapid client onboarding, integrated e-signature, and digital document request list. Before we do jump into that demo with Evan, I do think it's important to call out how some of our customers, just like you, have found success inside of ShareFile so far. Nina Ling says, ShareFile makes the PBC list process dummy-proof. You just click and drop. And then Jennifer Hodgkins says, in our firm, we have staff doing different things within an audit. So it's nice to delegate inside of engagements. It makes the entire process easier for our staff and the client. And then lastly, Crystal says, it's a lot easier for us and the clients with engagements. It's easy to get into and get access. We'll now transition over to Evan to have us walk through a common accounting workflow.
Hey everyone. Today, we're going to dive into how ShareFile addresses the pressing challenges in modern accounting. With the known pains and our ShareFile value proposition in mind, let's see how ShareFile can transform your accounting workflows and enhance your overall client experiences. To make this experience relatable, I'm going to step into the shoes of an accountant, like many of you, and see how ShareFile can address common pain points in our workflow. Then, we'll meet Avery Johnson, our existing client. We've been managing Avery's taxes for several years, but this year there's a twist. Avery has purchased a house and got married. This means we, as accountants, need to gather and manage all of Avery's historic information, including details about their partner's full-time job and side business. Now let's start our journey. As an accountant, the first step in our journey is to securely access ShareFile. Security is paramount, and ShareFile offers robust security measures to ensure your data is protected. Let me show you how easy it is to log in securely. So here I am on the main ShareFile application login page. This can be custom branded to your company's requirements. You'll also notice that ShareFile supports SAML single sign-on, which provides a safe and secure method for accessing ShareFile with your company directory credentials. This means that you and your employees can seamlessly use your existing company login credentials to access ShareFile, reducing the need for additional passwords. Alternatively, in what we'll be using today, ShareFile offers its own sign-in option, allowing you to use a username associated with your email address and a password. Administrators have control over the strictness and specific settings for password requirements. And for added security, ShareFile also offers two-factor authentication to ensure that only authorized users can access the sensitive data. With these security measures in place, you can trust that your data and your client's data are well protected as you use ShareFile to streamline your workflow. So now that we are logged in, let's jump into the demonstration. So first, I'm going to go and jump into folders. This is more of an old way within ShareFile where I can see I have client taxes. I see Avery Johnson here. So within Avery Johnson, Avery's 2022 taxes are securely stored in a ShareFile folder. Let's take a moment on how we used to manage Avery's documents in the past. So with ShareFile folders, we successfully were able to organize and access documents, but along the way, we faced challenges. Communication got lost in emails, and defining the exact documents needed was often a puzzle. So now let's fast forward to the present and explore how ShareFile's new projects and engagements feature simplifies access to past documents while streamlining our communication and request of documents that we need now. This not only benefits Avery, our loyal client, but also their partner, Taylor Patel, and us accountants. So diving into the updated process, the first step for us is to create a new engagement for Avery Johnson. ShareFile's new project and engagement feature is truly going to shine here. So it ensures that all information related to this year's taxes is organized in one place, offering seamless communication and unmatched organization. This is what modern clients expect. It's going to be text enabled. It's a very client-centric experience, as you'll see in the demo. And we can also see that I also have some existing engagements with clients of mine, both individual families and businesses. So I have already pre-created an engagement here for Avery, but it looks like I'm the only person. To create an engagement as an accountant, it would just be as simple as clicking on the Engagements tab, going into Create Engagements. You'll see that I have a name and description, which I have used for this engagement here. So now that I am in the root level of the engagement, we're going to request a general tax filing change document specific to Avery. And you'll notice how neatly everything will be organized in here. So you can see within the root level here of this engagement, we can have various document requests that you need provided by clients, files, comments, tasks, so back office actions that you and your team would need. And everything will be housed in this location. So communications, everything will be streamlined, and we will get back to this shortly. The first thing I want to do for Avery, because I created this, that is me, that's my profile, I will hit share. And so since Avery is an existing client of ours, I can choose Avery from my client list. You'll also notice that I had the ability to create a client, but we'll go and use that through another avenue. So I'm going to go ahead and share this out with Avery. As Avery is not a member of my team, a licensed user, they are a client. These are unlimited to my account. This is people that I do business with. clients of mine. So they are someone that can view and add content. That is the only role that I can provide them with. Now, do I want to give them the ability to share this engagement out with other members of their team? That is for you to decide. Would I like to type a message to invite Avery to this engagement? Type whatever you'd like in there, and I can go ahead and send that invitation out. So without needing to contact Avery, this will be managed through the notification service that ShareFile provides. So jumping into a new tab or a new browser, this is as if we are that client Avery. I can see that I have received a notification here from the accountant, Evan Georges, that has invited me. So that would allow me to then sign in to view that engagement as a client. As you can see, there are different steps here. So for Avery, I'm able to put in my information. I've already signed in and I've remembered this browser, but there's nothing in here quite yet. So let's jump back over to the accountant view. So as we recall from earlier, Avery got married, and so that means that we need to create a new client profile for their spouse, Taylor Patel. Now, before we add them to this engagement, which we're also going to need to request documents from them, what's exciting is that ShareFile now offers an accelerated agreement feature for client onboarding. So this will streamline the process of onboarding your clients, having them agree to being a client of yours, and making it quicker and more efficient than ever before. So addressing that challenge is definitely a big piece to onboard your clients that ShareFile is providing here. So I will simply click the People's tab, where I see that I can access my existing clients, but I can also go into my prospective clients, people who I have not yet onboarded. Now, Avery has also and already shared some information about Taylor with me. So I have added, we can see this card here for Taylor Patel. I have an email. There are some fields here that I added information about Taylor. It's also just as easy to click in here and add prospect. We can see that some fields are required, some are not. But I already have Taylor here as a client. So definitely less hassle. So I'm going to go ahead and choose Taylor, and I'm going to click Send Client Agreement. So I have a template here that I am able to use that has already been created. This is something that you and your team are able to create as you see, and I can have it actually merge data from this client record, or also leverage our electronic signature tool that is built into ShareFile to request signatures, have sequencing for who needs to be signing and when, and even request fields where they need to enter information themselves. So I'm going to go ahead and choose from this existing template that I have here for my accelerated agreement. Now, as this is loading, it is rendering information from Taylor, and it should be then appending it onto the document. So as you see, the document creation process is very simple. Everything from Taylor is going to be there, and then just a signature will be requested for them. So I'm going to go ahead and send this out. Again, I'm still doing all of this from within the application of ShareFile itself. So now I'm going through the process of onboarding Taylor. So let's jump over to Taylor's email. So I'll go ahead and refresh, and we should be expecting an email coming from ShareFile here shortly. As we can see, I am logged in. And there it is. So ShareFile notification letting me know that I have been sent a document to sign. So I'm going to go ahead and click this. As long as I have a browser, even if I'm using a mobile app, I'm able to do so. These are just some basic settings that we have on the browser. So I'm going to open this up. Anything that's required of me, there will be a red flag. Some great features is that I can see the information of mine is already here. There is one field required of me. Now, as a client, I do have the ability to decline this document or save my progress if I need to come back to it later. But we're already here, so let me just click to sign. I can type my signature, I can draw my signature. Let's just put some chicken scratch in there. I'm going to apply that and submit. So for Taylor, I'm able to review the document here within my browser, within my application, and I am able to submit that document as well. We can see the status of executed. So this document is complete. It will generate a certificate for your client and for you guys as well. That includes the checksum, all of the verified information to prove that this is a legal electronic signature that has been gathered, and we do have a history of the activity on this document itself. So jumping back to Taylor's email, right after that finished, I automatically received an email after I've signed that to be onboarded that I have been added to ShareFile. So I'm going to go ahead and activate my account here as a brand new client to the accountant's space. It brought information about Taylor. I'm going to go ahead and put my phone number in here. As I mentioned, we do have two-factor enabled. So I'm going to go ahead and hit continue for that first client authentication. Again, keep in mind, this is very simple. I'm setting this up. Now, we do support authenticator apps if they need to receive a call versus putting in a text message. There are various ways that they can do this as well. I'm going to now create a password based on the requirements that we've outlined for a company, and I've now created my account. So now that I've created my account, if I want to sign in, I can use my email address and I will be able to sign in, but there's really nothing to do quite yet. So we've been successfully onboarded. Great. Let's jump back over to the accountant side. So now that we've successfully onboarded Taylor, I'm going to go ahead and refresh the screen here, and we should notice some changes. So in my prospective client list, Taylor is no longer listed. Let me go into my active client list where I can actually see Taylor is now an active client of mine, and their account has been set up. So that is awesome. So now I can go ahead and add Taylor to this request as well. So I'm going to go back into Share, back into the engagement, typing in Taylor's name. Because they are a client of mine, I can go ahead and add Taylor as a client as well. Optional message, I'm going to go ahead and hit invite. So I'm adding Taylor to this request. Now, the next thing that I want to do is I want to not just give them access to this hub for collaboration, but now I need to get specific documents from this client for taxes. So let's talk about creating a document request list. So as the accountant, I can go into my request lists and create a new request list. Now for this one, let's say that I want to have this be specifically for Taylor. Now, because Avery and Taylor were both in there, they're both default added, but I can just mark that off. We can call this Taylor Taxes 2023. Again, however you guys want to manage this. Now, I can set a due date, so the ShareFile service will send reminders to make sure that we are kept up to date and up to speed. I will give them a week here. If I want to type a description, I can. So I'm going to go ahead and hit create. Now I can one-off create document request items, but I want to actually simplify this myself. So what I want to do is I want to use templates. So I'm going to import items. We have a template. It's just a CSV or Excel file with fields. I'm just going to go ahead and browse my computer. I have a list here. It's just an Excel file. For my new client, I'm going to hit open, and all it's doing is it's mapping two fields, a title of the document in which I'm requesting or documents which I'm requesting, and a description. So I'm going to go ahead and hit preview. I can see that there's 3 items with a description of documents. I'm going to go ahead and import that. It is now a draft, and I have the ability to then send that request to Taylor. So again, this is all taking it out of you needing to go and call them or email them. We're handling it all here from the service. So jumping back over to Taylor, we can see several things. I got my email letting me know of the ShareFile account. I can see I've been invited to the engagement, but more importantly, I can see that a document request has been sent to me. So let's go ahead and view this document request as a new client. So I want to go ahead and sign in. So this is my email. And my password. And let's double check to make sure that I have the proper email address, because you know me, typo hungry. There we go. All right, so a text message. Here's that two-factor, so it was sent to my cell phone, and I'm going to go ahead and type in that code. So here I am logging in as a client. It took me directly to the request for me. So we've aligned this step to streamline, the recurring lists of documents that you guys request from your clients. As you saw, it was very easy for me to upload that template, simplify the request list process, reducing any of that manual work. So now that it's ready, we sent it out, and this is where we excel. It's foolproof. It was very easy for me as Taylor to get that email, sign into this service now as Taylor, the new client, and I can use this. It's very intuitive, and we can appreciate that simplicity. So this will align with the challenge of the evolving client expectations that they expect a seamless tech-enabled type experience, and this is something that ShareFile definitely delivers. So I can see that there are 3 items for me. Clicking into them, there's general information, there's details, there's a description, and there's also comments. So the first thing is, let me just upload some files. I have the ability to drag and drop. So if I wanted to bring in my file explorer and drag and drop a file, I could definitely do so. But also if I wanted, if I click into an item, I could browse my computer and it would just open up File Explorer to a location as well. So up for me to define how I want to go about doing this, but let's just go ahead and upload some of those documents. I can select multiple documents as well, so we can see that those are being uploaded. And so for each item, as a client, I also have the ability, once I've successfully uploaded, to submit those for review. As we see, it's going to update the status. Now, let's say as a client, I have a question here on one of these particular items. We'll also notice for each column or each row that we have here, I have the ability to click comments as well. So I can hit a comment and I can ask a comment directly to the accountant. We'll just put some random text in here, but I'm going to go ahead and see that here's now an audit trail of me, Taylor, the client, that is asking this question. Now let's jump back over to the other version of me as the accountant, where I can actually see I'm still logged into this. I have a little hover here on the comment section. I can see what Taylor had asked. And so I can type my response here and submit that back. Again, getting this out of email is going to be huge. So Taylor's question was answered promptly within ShareFile. This is that real-time interaction. We're going to ensure that we provide the best possible service for our clients, and ShareFile will help us maintain that level of communication that the modern clients expect, while keeping everything secure and organized. So jumping back over to Taylor's side, I can see that there is a new comment here for me. And so very easily, I can acknowledge that. And I can go ahead and browse my folder and upload the documents that are specific for this ask. And once that's finished, I'm going to go ahead and submit that for review. So now all of these documents are going to be in review. I can see that I have the comments specific to the items themselves. And so jumping back over to the accountant's side, I would have received an email letting me know that they have submitted all of these for review. But I'm just going to go ahead. I'm already in this web application, so I can review these documents. One thing that's great for the files that they've uploaded is we do render the file itself, so I can look at the document to check for its accuracy. Obviously, I can comment back if I need or if I have any follow-up questions. And let's say that there is an issue here. So I see this tax document and there's a little bit of a problem. There's a minor issue. Not a big deal here. With ShareFile, I can request resubmission. So I can go ahead and send this item back and put some explanation in there. And send this back to the client. So now we can see that that updates the status to open. So jumping back over to Taylor's side, I get an email here letting me know that the accountant has sent back an item. Now, I could also just be in the application itself if I were already there and see it, but things don't usually work this fast. But this notification is very straightforward. I can see the example, I can see the description of the document, and I'm able to come in to ShareFile, click the link, which would take me directly to that location. If I needed to add a file, if I needed to delete a file, I can go ahead and do so. Again, very straightforward, very easy. And we're going to go ahead and replace that file and go ahead and submit that back for review. So here I am back on the accountant side. Again, very straightforward. I see the documents, everything looks good. What I want to do now is I'm going to go ahead and approve these items to let them know that this is exactly everything that I wanted. And so great, all three of these are approved. Back on Taylor's side, nothing bad, everything good. I log in here and I can see now that all of these items have been approved. That is awesome. Now, as an accountant, I could go through and do these same steps, looking back, and create a new request list for Avery and have Avery go through those same steps. We can see that we're here at that root level again of the engagement. We have that document request list that we did create for Taylor. And so as we have a life cycle of these engagements year after year, I can go through and look at the various requests that we've sent with our clients. I can see all of the files and all of the comments. I can filter by who they were added or what they were added for. And so it really streamlines it. All of the documents are in place. All of the communications are in place. And so what I can do as the accountant is I can close this request out now. And choose to notify my client. So again, just a quick example here is we should expect on the client side a notification that this has been closed and completed. Great, I've done everything I needed to do. I do have the ability to reopen this request, make modifications to it if needed. But that was basically it. That marks the completion of this process. So ShareFile made it easy for us to securely collect, review, and manage the documents, ensuring that we have a satisfied client. And basically, this was a job well done for us. So that's basically it for the demo. In closing, just like that, we were able to showcase how ShareFile transforms document management and tax preparation. We streamlined access to our clients' taxes and introduced engagements for seamless organization. Taylor was onboarded swiftly, pun intended, with accelerated agreements and enhancing that client experience. The efficient workflow management with document request lists and the chat for secure communication really highlighted these modern solutions. And we closed this process successfully, exceeding accounting challenges with ShareFile's strong efficiency. Now, I encourage all of you to explore ShareFile further. Feel free to sign up for a demo session and experience these benefits for yourself. Let's work together to bring your firm into the future. Thank you, everyone.